a real estate specific term that a lot of people are confused by when they start their process. Realtors and lenders tend to throw around the word earnest money very flippantly, as though everyone should know what we're talking about. But most first-time home buyers, sometimes even second and third-time home buyers, forget what earnest money is or have never learned it. So let's go through this. Earnest money is a deposit that you put down with the listing broker upon an accepted offer, or the title company, could be the listing broker or the title company. And it shows the seller that you're serious about the property. It says, I'm willing to put up this amount of money to show you that I'm going to perform on this contract. Earnest money is typically an avenue for damages for the seller. It's very hard for a seller to compel you to actually purchase the property, right? A judge typically wouldn't force someone to purchase a property as damages. When we're talking about damages, we're saying if you said, hey, at the 11th hour, I'm not going to purchase this property anymore. The seller's left having taken it off the market, maybe moved out, and they say, hey, but you owe me something for not performing on the contract that we had. It would be unlikely that a judge would ever make you actually purchase the home, right? But this earnest money is what gets called into play if you chose to default or had to default on that contract. Now, earnest money typically runs anywhere from 1% of the purchase price all the way up to tens of thousands of dollars, even on lower priced homes, depending on how competitive the market is. So the higher the earnest money that you put up, the more serious you're telling the seller you are that you are going to perform. That being said, most contracts in most states have contingencies where we protect that earnest money. Most common is an inspection contingency. So you protect that earnest money while you perform an inspection and you confirm that the house is as what you thought it was and that you're going to move forward given those conditions or anything that you negotiate. Once you pass the inspection contingency, you may have a financing contingency. A financing contingency says, I need to get a loan on this property. The property needs to go through the appraisal process where an independent third party comes in and confirms the value that we agreed on. You also may have underwriting that you have to go through, confirming where you work. If you're a 1099 employee, there's often some further details they have to go down. During this period of time, your earnest money is typically still protected. If you were to default during either of these contingencies, you would sign a cancellation with the seller and you would get your earnest money back. Now, as the market is more and more competitive, oftentimes people are waiving these contingencies. They are putting up their earnest money and saying, if I don't close, you get to keep my money, seller. That's a great deal for the seller. It makes them feel super confident in your ability to purchase, and it gives them damages if you do default. In a more balanced or buyer-friendly market, you may protect that earnest money all the way until closing. It depends what market we're in, but that is the basic premise of earnest money. It shows your seriousness of the property to the seller, and it gives them damages if you were to default on the contract. Talk to your agent. Our team would love to be your agents if you're looking in the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area, and we can talk to you about what earnest money is typical in our market, and we can talk to you further about how the market may change or how you can protect or waive protections on earnest money depending on how competitive the property is.